whoever can make it through. We already know how good Sully is with that PT, you know, one of the more technical PTs and very calculated players. Hopefully he can continue that grind. He's been a little bit MIA in the past, but he's back at it. So hopefully, let's see what he can do to start off.
Ooh, and look at these nice new overlays. But yet already Farley's just showing off the Sephiroth bread and butters. But when you're throwing out Octo Slashes like that, almost hoping for them to hit in center stage, yeah, you're going to eat a massive punish when it comes to Squirtle, especially given Sephiroth already can struggle with slow characters that are able to mash in his face. It gets so overwhelming so quickly.
Yeah, Farley's one of those players that does the more unorthodox options that you wouldn't really expect. They're going to hit sometimes, and probably they're not going to hit, but it's just those kind of things that you got to prepare for. You got to start, really looking deep into what he's going to throw out. That is a nice catch right there, catching the air dodge, but the Octo Slash is going to come in clutch and save Farley once again. Still a pretty even game.
Ooh, and straight DI-in, which could have led to his own defeat, but Sully that time scouting out, and the DI-in again, that time killing him off of the Ivysaur down throw. That's pretty huge, especially given the setup was not to his favor to begin with. That time trying to throw out the same trap that he was before. Sully playing around it though immediately, yet that down air comes in clutch. Trying to get him off. He really needs this stock now, but these down airs that it hits done are not doing him any favors.
Yeah, I've talked to Farley before in the past. You know, he does a lot of scramble options, a lot of panic options, such as that there that you saw earlier. And it does cost him a lot of, his stocks. It puts him in bad predicaments such as that, but, he's swinging.
Wow.
And every single time that he's been swinging, it's been costing him the stock. But finally, the dash attack comes out at 173, killing the Charizard. Hopefully that can build up some momentum, but it seems like Sully is not going to stop.
Yeah, not phased at all. Like when you drop your stock at 170 as Charizard, you kind of realize this is how the character is meant to be played. This is the character flow. There are those names on screen. Get a nice little Sully and Farley in pools. This is where Sully really has to be worried here, trying to time the switch, but he ends up getting blown up by the Shadow Flare. Farley not finding a combo off of it, that's still really good damage.
Yeah, and once again, the Octo Slash coming out. Not going to use it to attack Sully, but it's going to try to get away, and the Dare coming out once again. Still, it's very doable. You have the One-Winged Angel, so that gives you a little bit more armor, a little bit more power in your attacks. But Farley hasn't really been able to get any conversions going. He gets a few 1-2s here and there, but, in terms of a Sephiroth combo game, hasn't really been looking too sharp.
No, it's been very single hit, which is, I guess, a mixture of good DI and good play from Sully, as that time mixing up the Farley's DI and catching him with that high Octo Slash. He had Wing on deck. There was no need to go for such a high Octo Slash to try and recover from so deep. But, I mean, those are those panic options that you've been seeing from Farley the entire time. Like, it really seemed like as if Farley not only got hit, but also just whiffing in neutral so many times, he would end up just buffering rollbacks, buffering dash-aways. Like, he did not want to interact with Sully when push came to shove, and that really showed in the latter half of Game 1. Sully just blowing him up for out of hit stun habits.
Yeah, and it seems like Farley's doing a little bit of talking right now with Sully, just trying to understand a little bit of what happened, but we are going to get a change of scenery. We are no longer in PS2. Here we are in small battlefield. We're going to be seeing, a smaller layout in terms of real estate, but definitely the Blast Zones are going to allow Farley to live a little bit longer. But before he can do that, he has to start getting these hits in. I mean, Squirtle is a small character, so he's going to be able to avoid a few of Sephiroth's attacks.
Yeah, more than just a few. It's going to take some really precise angled grounded moves to come down and hit this Squirtle. Though a ton of damage will start to force Sully off of this character if they so choose. Yeah, getting the nice turnaround grab. Sully keeping calm, trying to go out the water gun, but that time Farley getting the Octo Slash with the early, going a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Slight timing mix-ups can matter a lot, and slight hitbox extensions can certainly matter a ton against Ivysaur, who is so reliant on that Razor Leaf in neutral. But in terms of punish game, it's all down air, up air.
Yeah. One thing I've learned from playing Sully myself is he's really good at utilizing Ivy's down air to convert into so many other options, whether it's an up air, whether it's just tech chases, and just hitting you with forward smashes. He really knows how to play with the PT, and he's really good at just making sure that the ledge trap game from Farley does not go in favor, as the Vine Whip is going to take the stock from Farley, and once again in a 3-1 deficit, finding himself.
That is it's a solid statement coming out from Sully. Just, yeah, we're done with this one. Like I've got a handle on what you need and what you want. So all it will take, if you can't get a stock off this Charizard and you keep throwing out these risky air dodges, then things are going to go from just bad to worse. Here is the Giga Flare. It does intercept, but only the weak hit, and that a great high Flare Blitz, able to avoid that entire ledge trap.
Yeah. Sully's just been doing an immaculate job in general, just with the whole spacing game. His combo game has been pretty good. Just every call-out has been going in favor of Sully, but Farley finally playing the game, you know, at his pacing, you know, just waiting for the opportunity to strike, and finally that F-Till's going to steal the stock.
Yeah, finally,
it takes one stock to build up a little bit of momentum, but it also takes a lot of bullet seeds to just put you in a precarious situation where you're bound to die to a beautiful setup. Oh, yeah, I think he air dodged, or he definitely threw out some animated attack that sent him just to the blast zone. Unfortunate way for Farley to go out. He got his wish, though. He did say he wanted to be on stream at Fusion, so he definitely got his wish.
Yeah, we get to... I mean, having VODs in general is just so huge. Being able to really look back with a much cleaner eye instead of the retrospective of, man, I just lost and I feel bad. Like, being able to look back at VODs and understand, like, okay, yeah, I was doing down airs, I hit stun too much, these Octo Slashes were really getting me punished, like, et cetera, et cetera. So, always happy to see new players, always happy to see players improve, even if it's just slightly every single time. And, I mean, the same thing can be said for Sully, going from, like, oftentimes was a little bit lower seeded as he was trying to figure out his Pokemon trainer, slowly rising through the ranks, and is now really into this gatekeeper kind of section where if you don't understand how to beat Sully, then you're going to struggle with any free player above him, because Sully can just really understand the design of his character and the design of this game. I mean, partially because of his own game design experience. Shout out to Sully and his immaculate art for the game that he is developing himself, which is